Hi and welcome to Positive Abundance Manifestation. Today we're going to be talking about happiness and self-love and how they're interconnected and how important it is to your life, even to your longevity of your life. But before we start, I ask that you make a comment, tell me what you want to hear me talk about, anything in relation to positive mindset, positive behavior management, positive parenting, positive classroom management, anything like that. Tell me how you like my videos, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share them if you do like them. Okay, now let's get into the video. I suppose a good start, if we're talking about happiness, is talk about what happy people feel. When they are happy, they feel love towards themselves. And when we experience happiness, our attention turns to those positive and exciting things in our life that help us to sustain that feeling. Our body's trying to search for more things that will make us feel happy. It lets us explore new opportunities. It makes us take more risks. And when we're happy or joyous, we feel content. We feel happiness or joy in our neurotransmitters, which are the increasing dopamine and serotonin levels in our brain that comes from our frontal lobe, connecting also with our thalamus to help give us that feeling of contentment, happiness, joyousness. The dopamine and the serotonin links up with our neurons or our nerves, and that communicates with other cells in our body. And when we are happy, the benefits of this reaction in our body, this chemical reaction, is that we can have a healthier lifestyle. So we'll probably choose healthier meals, or we'll do more exercise. It boosts the immune system. It fights our stresses and our pains so that we don't feel them as much. And it also aids in our longevity. So a lot of people who are older say that they live a happy life, and not everyone. We've all met the cantankerous and grumpy people, but it is a really healthy thing happening in our body. It helps our respiratory system. Pupils dilate. It helps our breathing, aids the blood circulation. It just increases our functions in our body, and that helps our body run really well. So it's really important for us as people to be happy, and everyone does experience happiness, but there are times when we're not happy. And so some of the things that you can do to make yourself happy are go for a walk in nature, pet your dog or your cat or pets, kiss someone you love. That always boosts the dopamine and serotonin in your body. Also, you could try and fake a smile, just the actions of using those muscles, and that will have a positive effect in your brain. And it's a fake. We are trying to manipulate our brain to make us feel happy. So that's why it's so important that we try and trick our brain. And you can do it. It's a magnificent thing, our brain, but we can trick it. So doing those sorts of things can help us to become happier or be in a better mood. But the key thing for me, for someone to truly be a happy person, now you could ask any really happy person, they have frustration, they have angers. It doesn't shut down all the emotions. But what a happy person does is uses that positive mindset, even the abundant mindset, to help bring you back on track. They use I statements, or they think positive things when things are going badly. If you look at my last week's video about changing your thought pattern, when you experience negative experiences, think of what the happy things are at that time, or the things that you are grateful for, and that will help you move back. Happy people do have the whole range of emotions. They just spend a lot more time in their happy state or joyous state or contented state than the people who spend a lot more time in their frustrated state, their angry state, their sad or depressive states. But we can control that. And that's what positive mindset is all about. Us taking control of the thoughts in our brain to help manipulate our body into thinking that actually we're in a better place than maybe we are. Or maybe we are in that place where we're happy. But the key thing for an individual is self-love. I'm one person who, I've spoken about abuse before. Because of abuse, I've never really loved myself until recently even. I mean, there's been spurts throughout my life when things have got better, and then I've gone to that road of going downhill again. But I've really solidified this in my life about a positive mindset. I have to love myself, and I do truly love myself. I tell myself, I look in the mirror, and this is something that you can do. Mirroring is a magical thing that you can do. And it's not embarrassing because you're not talking to anyone else, you're just there with yourself. And if you believe in spirits and angels and stuff, you're there with a whole myriad of other universal creatures. But you're there in your own company, you stare into your eyes, and that's the key ingredient. Everyone can look into a mirror and tell themselves how beautiful they are, or how lovely they've been, or how nice they are. But if you don't look into your eyes and really mean what you say, then it won't trigger a positive reactions, because you have to really mean it. Now, at the start, when you're trying to be positive about yourself and to start to love yourself, you're obviously not going to be there in that moment. But if you're looking in your eyes at that point in that time, you are meaning it. It is a meaningful affirmation. Using those I statements. I love myself. You don't have to lie. If you don't feel like you're the most attractive person in the world, then don't say it. But go back and write a list of the things that you like about yourself and talk about those first. And then gradually add. And you'll start to find in yourself the things that you find more beautiful or loving or anything about yourself that is positive. So I've actually been there. I've been through it. I know what it's like to not love yourself and then to find yourself and do those affirmations in the mirror. So it's really, really important. The key thing is also, when you do not love yourself, you're going to try and find other people to love, because you've got love in you. You want to love. And that's when we often make mistakes. Like, for example, I'm an empath, so I feel emotions of other people. I'm one of those people, when you walk into someone with a big smile walks into a room, I can feel the underlying emotion. They're actually just pretending, which is what we all do. As I've said before in previous videos, my nickname was Smiley, but I was the most unhappiest person at that time, but I always smiled and showed people I was happy. It's good, because that maintained my level. As I said, by faking smiling and happiness, that can actually make you feel better. But it's not good, because I was camouflaging what I was really feeling about myself and about my life. But you make silly mistakes, you have unhappy relationships. The truly happy relationships are generally with people who are either really love themselves or are content with themselves, are not negative about themselves. They are when you can actually have a really fulfilling relationship. Generally, not all the time. I'm not saying that you can't have a happy relationship if you don't love yourself, because you might be lucky enough to meet someone who is fantastic for you. But mostly, a lot of people, like myself, pick the wrong partners because we want to help them. I want to feel valuable, so I'm going to try and help someone, or they need my support. And what happens in that relationship, and it might not mean that person's a narcissist or anything like that, they will take advantage of you because you're giving so much. At the end of it, you're very unhappy because you seem to be giving, and they're taking because you gave it. It's not always their fault, but they obviously need to check in their behaviours, but we've allowed that to happen. So it's really, really important to have a successful relationship that we love ourselves, or we at least, at the very least, have a contentment about ourselves and a positive mindset. But self-love is really, really important. You will find that you'll be able to handle situations well. Within the last month, I've had power out for 4 days over Christmas. But the boiler, we've had to get a new boiler. My fridge has gone broken down, and you've got to deal with it. It happens. These things are mechanicals of it. They're going to fail at some point. There's no point dwelling on the negative. I'm thinking, wow, I've got a new boiler, the electricity's all been fixed, and I'm going to have a new fridge. It's fantastic. So you got to look at those positives and smile, and sometimes just laugh at the things that happen. It doesn't mean you're disrespecting your situation. It just means you're putting it in perspective. These things happen to everyone. Everyone has negative experiences in their life. It's just how they deal with it as a person. You've always got to carry it on positively. And there are times, as I said, all happy people and positive people have the whole range of emotions. So they will be frustrated. They will get angry sometimes. But then they'll calm down quicker. They'll bring themselves back around, and maybe if they might even have to apologise for actions, but they will do it, because nothing they do will be sensed as a manipulation or as trying to upset people. It doesn't mean you're not going to upset people, because people have their own emotions. But it's really important that to help you have a happy, successful life, and to get a healthy body and a healthy lifestyle, that you start to be happy and to start enjoying your life. Start telling yourself, use those I affirmations, as I've said, bring them into your daily life. Every morning, as you can see behind me, I do affirmation 6-minute meditations per affirmation. Do the 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes of your life that is well used, affirming to yourself about positive things. Be positive, be gracious, and try and be happy. Remember, happiness isn't everything, but it will definitely help you lead a more happy, healthier, and successful life. Just remember that it doesn't mean you can't have successful lives. It just might mean you come up against a lot more roadblocks in your life, and it's how you deal with it. With a positive mindset, when you're happy and you love yourself, you are more likely to be more successful in positive mindset and abundant mindset, because you have a positive aspect or a positive thought pattern on your experiences. Just remember that you are important, and everybody around you thinks you're important. The people who don't, they're not worth it. You will pick. When you love yourself, it's amazing what happens. You tend to pick more positive people to be around, or the negative people that you are around, you won't spend as much time with, or you won't be as positive. And you start to make those conscious decisions, because you don't want people deflating you. You don't want people, when you want to be able to go and feel happy and respected around the people you respect. If you do something well, you should be able to go up to someone and say, hey, I've had this great success. And they should say, well done, I'm really proud of you. I could tell, I knew you were working hard at that. You should always back people up when they are having a positive experience and having success. An egotistical person will say, I'm better than you, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at this. That's not someone who's being positive about that person. That egotistical person probably doesn't love themselves in a true sense. They have this love of themselves, but from a godlike manner. They put themselves on a pedestal, whereas actually they probably don't really love each other. They haven't looked themselves in the eye in that mirror until you get to that moment and really tell yourself, I love you. You're really important. You know, something, if you're religious, something I've always said to myself, I love God. God is in my heart. So if I love God and He's in me, then I must love myself. And that's just something I used, which did help at the start. And I use my affirmations. But you don't have to be spiritual to love yourself. You just need to be honest with yourself. There are good things in you. Find them, write them down, and start affirming them to yourself. I want you to have positive, healthy lifestyles. I want the world to be positive. I want the world to be happy. Now we know that at times there is not going to be that, but we need to be able to, as a community, as a world population, when something bad happens, we need to be able to think positively about what is happening and change our mindset. So it's really, really important to try to love yourself and create happiness. And for those people that are on the road to self-love, just remember those little hints of walking in nature, petting your dog, kissing someone you do love, or faking that smile, or laugh, watch a comedy, things that make you happy. Fake it so that you can feel good about yourself. I'm sending you healing and loving and positive thoughts, love and light to you all.